Hey everybody, it's Dan over here at Smoke Daddy Inc. and Pellet Pro Smokers. It's going to be really exciting this week because we're not doing pork, not beef, but fish. So we're going to do two separate videos. We're going to have one featuring tuna steaks that we're going to cold smoke and do a nice marinade with those. This video today, we're going to make lox with some salmon. So stay tuned.
What you smoking?
All right, so we actually went to Sam's Club, and luckily we found a really beautiful salmon fillet for a good price, so we jumped on that. Now lox, it's an uncooked brine salmon, so you don't have to necessarily cook it, but we are going to smoke it later. So what I would like to do here, this is a 5-pound fillet. I'm going to just cut this right in half. This is already with the skin off. If you have the skin on, just make sure it's descaled, and cut slits with the knife every few inches. So our brine, or the cure we're going to be using, is half a cup of kosher salt with 1 teaspoon of cure number 1 or prig powder, and then we're going to have a half a cup of brown sugar, or you can use regular sugar as well, with a teaspoon of white pepper. And then you're going to zest 1 lemon, which I don't have a zester, so I just minced the heck out of it and smashed the peels to get all those nice fragrant oils out of there. So we're going to add 1 zested lemon, and then about that much dill. So maybe about a half cup of dill or so. And we're going to mix this all together. And then we're going to cover the fish as much as possible. We're going to drench it. So once you have that mixed pretty well, and I'm going to take each fillet and just coat the heck out of it. Get all the crevices, sides, front, back, in and out, however much you can. Get it all in there. So maybe line the bottom a little bit too. And then this is going to sit for 2 days. So you want to make sure you use either a glass or a plastic container while it's doing that. So we're going to put that on there, get our second fillet, coat the bejesus out of it. Just like that. Yeah, I love lox, especially for a nice breakfast. You can't go wrong with a bagel, maybe some tomato. Nice snack. And it's a very easy recipe, very, very simple. So we're gonna put that in there, and then the remainder of the dry brine, we're gonna layer that on top. And what I recommend also is to put something heavy to compress this down while it's brining. So I have a little aluminum pan here. Actually, what I want to do, you can use either paper towel or saran wrap to separate the aluminum from the fish, or you can use some type of a chopping board that's the same size. You just want to make sure it's evenly compressed. So that's right about 5 pounds. We're gonna push that down in there like that, and we're gonna refrigerate this for 48 hours. After that, we'll clean them off and get them smoking. So stay tuned. All right, everybody, we're back in the kitchen after 2 days. So I just took this out of the refrigerator. I did replace that paper towel with some saran wrap because I remembered that, with that salt, that draws out a lot of the moisture, so it'll get kind of gummy, and saran wrap works a lot better. So we're going to take this off, and we're going to rinse these off in some lukewarm water. because we want to rinse off all of that brine, that dry brine. So just get lukewarm water, try to get as much as you can off. Because if you leave some on there, it will be quite salty. So rinse, rinse, rinse. I am excited for this, I'll tell you. Okay. All right, so now it's all rinsed off. We'll just come over here. If you have like a cloth rag, that might work a little bit better. You want to dry this off as best as possible. I got all my tons of paper towels here. Just kind of dab it dry. Get all as much of that moisture out as you can. That should be good. And then we're going to just place this right onto our jerky racks that we now have. Now these are really wonderful racks. We're going to let them sit here and dry for about 3-4 hours until they become nice and tacky. These racks, they're nice and heavy gauge frame, very rigid, stainless steel. You can stack them on top of each other if you want to do jerky without smoking it. Have a little fan next to it. It'll help dehydrate it. So with this one, we're going to use it to dry out the locks here, and then we're going to smoke them. So we're going to let this sit here, and then we'll meet you right back outside. All right, everybody, so it's been about a couple hours, actually about 3 hours. We let this salmon sit out and kind of dry up a little bit more. I got the Pellet Pro 2300 set at 100 degrees, the only pellet grill that's able to do that with our nice Sportsman program. So it's sitting about 105, 106, so yeah, it's right around there. It's a little warmer day. So what we had to do is we had to get this block of wood and kind of open this up a little bit more, because you have to get that ventilation out, that heat to escape in order to maintain those temperatures. So it's doing exactly what we want. Let's go ahead and get them in there. So we're using our brand new Jerky Racks that we've had a lot of demand for. So they're 23 by 16 and a half. As you can see here, you can fit one more in here. You can fit 7 full levels. We just did some jerky a few weeks ago, filled the whole thing up. So we're gonna let this smoke for maybe about an hour. And we got our big Kahuna cold smoke generator going. You gotta look out. That's definitely hot. Use some gloves, by the way, while you're using that. And then what we're using in there is our Mojo cubes. And if it's fish, we're going to use apple. It's a little bit less of a pungent smoke. It's not going to be too overpowering. So we're going to let that run for about an hour, along with our circulation fan. That's going to circulate the heat and the smoke nice and evenly. Again, one of the only pellet grills that has that feature. So yeah, with that, we'll be back in a little bit. But I also want to show you, look at our other video. We're going to be searing up some ahi tuna steaks here in a little bit, so check that out as well. It's been an hour now since we put that salmon on, so let's take a look. Woo, a little darker color, look at that. Oh, that's going to be nice. Wonderful. Look at that color. So now what we're going to do, we're going to take this back inside. We're going to refrigerate it for a couple days. It's Friday, so we're going to have the weekend to come back. And then Monday, we're going to slice into it and see how it is. So we'll see you then. Oh man, we're going to have an exciting morning today. A very nice high-scale breakfast. So we got our lox here. They've been in the refrigerator for about 3 days, mellowing out with the smoke. We got some bagels here with some cream cheese, tomato, and some dill. So the way to do this is to slice it as thin as you can. You know, I like to use the brisket knife for this. You slice it nice and thin. Let's get a couple pieces here. Yeah, beautiful, just like that. Perfect. Then we'll kind of put the tomato on here. A few slices of that. And we'll kind of drape the lox on top of that. Now, you can also use some capers with this. We're not a big fan of capers, so we're just going to go with a little bit of extra dill right on top. So that's how you make lox. I'm going to just feature this real quick. Some of this recipe came from the Great Sausage Recipes and Meat Curing by Rytek Kutas. Very good source for this type of curing meat or other meats. Check out the link below. Anyway, thanks for looking. Go start cooking.